and you can start whenever you're ready.
All right. My name is Chris Brookins, online known as Chris Brook FN, and videography and things like that. I may be known as the man of real.
Maybe. Nice. Thanks for joining us, Chris. So we like to start our interviews with the first question. Are you hood grown? And if so, how does that influence your aesthetic?
Yes, I am hood grown. Born and raised in Boston, grew up in Dorchester and Roxbury. It influences my aesthetic very much so. A lot of my videography, at least my personal artistic videography, you see a lot of background and locations and landmarks that you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot growing up.
Yeah, so to start, what's your history with film and what kind of equipment do you use? When did you get started? How did you know this was something that you wanted to get into? And what was probably the first film equipment you picked up and you were like, oh, I can do this pretty easily?
I probably got into film real early, like in college, maybe even before that, but I didn't realize it was a passion of mine probably until like maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, dope. So it's new. That's exciting. I love that.
It feels new, but I've been on YouTube since 2008 or something like that. So, you know what I mean? Like
a little over a decade, no big deal.
I've been around the block. I'm longer than but yeah, recently in the past 3 years, I've looked at it as like a passion, and you know, I've realized how much I love it, and it's probably something I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
Dope. So what kind of equipment are you using? Are you like using really fancy cameras? Are you just like using fairly simple DSLRs, or what exactly are you using?
When I started, I was using the handheld camcorder stuff. I used to have one Velcro to my hand all the time. I would pop it up and flip the screen open and just start all the time. But then the iPhones had the cameras on them, so I started using my phone a lot. And then bought my first DSLR. I bought my first DSLR, I feel like in like 2012. And now I'm using. I just googled what my camera is now. It's a digital mirrorless camera. I'm not like a camera guru or anything like that. So like
Neither am I. So cool. That sounds awesome. Mirrorless. Ooh.
Informative.
Yeah.
It works.
Dope, as long as it works. I mean, like, I'm all for, like, as a teacher myself, I'm always like really interested to hear when folks are using their phones to make art, because like that's what my students have accessibility to. So it's like, if you can make dope shit on your phone, like, why do you need a fancy camera? Like, it's not super necessary. You can make a dope digital portfolio on your phone.
I think that was the thing that made me feel like it was passion of mine, because it did start with just my cell phone, and I was like really making like these like artistic like videos. I'm like, I should get a camera.
Yeah, make it. Yeah, but having a separate camera opposed to just your phone makes it feel like you're taking it more serious. But at the same time, like, it's also great to know that you can do these things on a cell phone.
You can't work with your cell phone.
Yeah. So how would you describe yourself as a storyteller? You kind of have, from what I was like looking at all of your work, you kind of have like two separate kinds of bodies of work. One that feels a little bit more like a celebration of different people in your life, or maybe, I mean, you have a great one about the essential worker that you put out. There's these kind of like just really tight storytelling ways that you go about that type of work. And then of course you have your man of real side of life where you are, we'll get to that. But how would you describe yourself as a storyteller, and how do you come up with the stories that you want to tell on film?
Yeah, I think I'm just a visual storyteller. I think that like a lot of stuff you said, like the essential worker videos, I'm shocked that you even brought that one up, because that's not like a big video that I
do my research.
Yeah, I appreciate it for sure. I was walking my dog one day and seeing water drops coming off of a tree, and just felt like, oh, there's a story to this. I'm a real guerrilla, like I said, guerrilla style filmmaker, and when I feel inspired, I just go, and I think that was that side of things. I celebrate my friends, and because I have a passion for it, I don't mind coming out and filming them and creating arts pieces of art for them. Um, and I think with the superhero thing, I'm just a fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a fan, so I have that side of things, and it's just a way for me to express myself, really, just like things that go on inside that it's not like everyday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So when you say you're like a visual storyteller, which obviously you are, but in some ways, I would argue you're a bit of a writer as well. That narration you like to pick up, I feel like it's a bit of poetry in a lot of ways as well. Do you think of the narration you add to some of your films as poetry, or do you kind of just put pieces together and then you're like, oh, this narration might work?
My first time hearing it described as poetry, honestly.
Oh.
Um, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. I never thought I was a poet or anything like that. I have a background in music, so I used to really like, get intricate with words and things like that.
Mhm.
And I think that might spill out a little bit into what I'm doing, but I guess, yeah, I guess it is poetry.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just poetry and you're putting some visuals with it. It's great. So let's get a little bit more into your Man of Real. What's your process like? How do you shoot your solo works that you add your layered effects on? Do you like imagine what these effects look like in your head and then you kind of do the movements? Or are you more so like, let me just film myself doing some stuff. And then when you get the film back, you're like, ooh, it would be cool if this happened, or this happened, or this was glowing, or this was foaming, or this I was flying, or something like that. Like, how do you go about this process and what is it like for you?
Honestly, you sound like my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It can go either way. I'll plan something. It might go both ways. I might plan something, and then when I get the video back, I'm like, "Ooh, it would have worked better if I did it like this." And so, but I'm used to that happening now, and it's kind of like I'll just come up with an idea. It'll just come to me. Um, like again, I'm visual, so my hands start going sometimes. The idea will just come to me, and if I can see it in my mind how I would edit the video, then I'll go film and try it out. And it depends on how excited I get about the idea. If I feel like it's gonna be something cool or something that might, all my videos make me laugh. When I'm like editing and I see like kind of the effect coming together,
Mm-hmm.
my friends have been there with me. Like if I'm in the car and I'll just start breaking out in laughter just because I'm looking, just like it's funny to me. I don't know.
That's interesting because the way that your reels like turn out, they look like very like serious and like I just get the feel of like Gotham, like it feels very dark in a lot of your films, and then you're over there like, like laughing as you're making them.
Tell me more. Tell me more. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Gotham vibes. I love that. I
That's
appreciate
good.
it.
Yeah. So I want to focus on one of your reels. I really love the reel you made at the Museum of the National Center of African American Art, also known as the Big Head Museum. You did a great interaction with the Big Head over there, made by a local artist. Did you know how you were going to lay on the effects for these clips when you were filming, or did you kind of just like hang out in that space and you're like, it would be cool if this big head attacked me and then I go flipping into one of these trees?
Yeah, no, that one was special to me because I was thinking about like this concept of how my character got superpowers. Like where did my superpowers come
Mm.
from? And I'm kind of building that story backwards. And right now that was kind of just the moment where it happened where I got superpowers. And
The
um
origin story, and it comes from a black sculpture. That is so dope. We love that here.
yeah. So hopefully there's more that'll come from that little storyline right there. But
Yeah.
just for right now, it was like I knew that I needed an idea to how I got superpowers, and I wanted it to be something along the superhero lines, but something very like custom, something that's
Mm-hmm.
for me. And like I said, a lot of my videos and have scenery and landmarks and things that you might have seen before. So I just driving past that like I do all the time. And one
Mm-hmm.
day I just looked at it and was like, that's it. Like that's the thing. That's so Boston, so Roxbury, so of
Mm-hmm.
the culture.
Yeah, it's so Black Boston. I feel like only Black Bostonians really know what
Yep.
that space is. So when I saw it, and I mean, like, I'm a big fan of that museum. So um, kudos on that reel. And I love that that's your origin story. I'm going to dig deeper into origin stories when we get to that question. Um, but how would you describe your color palette? I know I just kind of described it as Gotham, which is very like dark. But how do you like choose the colors of your powers and how the powers you interact with? Like I noticed you use a lot of like blues and purples and I don't know if that's inspired by like, Black Panther. I know like there's quite a bit of purple in the Black Panther when it comes to like the power. But like every superhero, uses different kinds of ways of interacting with their powers. Like when you shoot lasers out of your eyes, it's not, yellow or orange the way that it is with Superman. It's like purpley. And how did you go about choosing these colors? And what does that say about the character you're creating?
Damn, that's a great question. Yeah, I picked my color. It wasn't a really lot of thought when I was thinking about the colors of the powers, so to speak. I just wanted something that could stand out a lot against what I'm filming or the video itself. And like you said, when you said the Gotham, it gave you a Gotham vibe. That's why I kind of got excited about it because I have a lot of Zack Snyder inspiration.
Oh, nice.
I love a lot of his work. I love the way his movies look. Even 300, that movie,
Hmm.
300, I'm not sure if a lot of people remember that one, but I just love the colors and
It was only like 20 years ago that came out, but no big deal.
I'm showing my age. I'm showing, but yeah, that was a big one for me where I was like, man, the colors in this one is beautiful. And of course,
Yeah,
when
so you like the high contrast. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for real high contrast. And I think you're able to achieve that. It comes
yeah, I
out really
appreciate.
beautiful.
I try to keep it like you said, like a darker, high contrast. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely, definitely.
So, we talked a little bit about the man of reel, but do you think of this person in your reels as an alter ego, or, and like, if so, how would you describe this character for yourself? Like, I know that you say you kind of like laugh as you are like editing these reels. So, in some ways, do you feel like there's like a separation between you and these videos? Like, you're looking at this character like, look at this guy. Like, do you see him as yourself?
I definitely see him as myself. I see it as an alter ego for sure. I mean, I never use those words. I feel like this is like a therapy session today because you're very like,
Sorry, I'm digging real deep.
no, it's good. It's good. I love it. Um, yeah, it's definitely alter ego. It's just like a lot of things that, like, growing up as a kid, I wish that I got superpowers. Like, I wish one day, like, it just happened to me. There was some days where I was just like close my eyes and just really hope, 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 hope.
So on
And
December 21st, you were like, what happened?
even on December 21st, I was kind of like, I know I've been making these videos, but so, nah, but that's just really what it comes down to. Is like I just anything that I really wanted to do, I can do in a video.
So,
Yeah.
so to go on that, what abilities does Man of Real have that you were able to show so far? And maybe what abilities are you wanting for him to have in the future and you will later put show? And also, how's that super suit coming along? Curious.
Yeah. Wow, you definitely did your research.
It did.
I feel I'm very appreciative of it. I love that it's being seen. Things are being seen. So that's very. Um, the powers right now are flight. I can fly. I can move things with my hands.
Without
Uh,
touching them.
without touching them. Right, 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 right. Everybody can do that, I guess, without touching them. Um, and there is more that I don't really like to talk about because I hope that my videos slowly will start to explain the storyline and what the powers actually are, because there's more like detail to what the powers are and the origin of the powers, and
Oh,
yeah.
that's so cool. And how's that super suit?
Oh yeah, the suit. The suit is coming along very nicely. Um, I'm excited about it. I just don't want to be out here kind of looking like I'm wearing a costume though. So
Feel that.
we're working on the details of this super suit so that it's kind of like real world, tactical.
Hmm. More like athleisure kind of feel, less of an adult man wearing a like
Other,
a
yeah,
onesie.
right, right. A fitted onesie at that.
Hmm. Cool. And what's the color palette? Do you have an idea yet about like what kind of colors the Man of Real will be?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sold on everything yet, but I know for sure that I'm gonna get this. I want a real like kind of gold, bronzish kind of thing. I like the brown palettes. So
Nice. And
that's something.
that's not really done with superheroes. It's very rare you see like browns and like greens. I think like Hawkeye's the only one with like browns, and he's like honestly not a superhero. Let's be real. Like he's just a good archer. Like that's not a superpower.
They had archery class at school.
Yeah, like I was pretty good at it when I tried. It's not that hard. I could be Hawkeye if I tried.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. No, no, I like Hawkeye. I like Hawkeye to all the superhero fans out there.
Yeah. Might come at me because I'm trashing Hawkeye. There's other amazing superheroes out there that actually have powers. Um, but what's next for you and your work? What are we looking forward to? What can we see from the Man of Real?
Yeah, I'm working on a movie.
Oh, just working.
Yeah.
That's it. So just a film, no big deal.
We all got together and we decided we wanted to make a movie. So we've been just working on the storyline right now. And so that's where I'm at really, is just putting together a nice story, and not just because we can get some good shots, just slapping something together.
Mhm.
We wanted to have some impact. So yeah.
Dope.
Um,
So we'll look forward to that, you and your team working and getting a film out there. And lastly, where can the people find you? Or more so, where do you want to be found? Not in a physical sense, but in the internet world. Where would you like people to follow you and find your work and all that jazz?
in the internet world, you guys can be as nosy as you want. Chris Brook FN on everything. Chris Brook FN. Yeah.
So on Insta, YouTube, all that jazz.
Instagram and YouTube. I would say subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube.
That's
Please.
yeah. I'll
That's
put
my
it.
favorite thing is
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make sure folks subscribe to your page, and we'll put that in the show notes for everyone so they can click the link and just go right to your YouTube and see all your videos. And thank you so much, Chris, for taking time out this morning to talk to me about your work. I'm very excited to see how the Man of Real, his origin story and how he continues to go. And I love that he was powered by art. So we will keep that in mind, and you should keep that in mind in your origin story. He was powered by art. What does that mean?
I'll tell you right there. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's free. You can take it, all of it.
Dropping gems on me this whole morning, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate your interest in what I got going on.
Yeah, of course. I don't feature enough digital artists and film artists because honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about when I talk to you all. And I thought it was really important to see someone who was, taking advantage of the fact that we're all on our phones constantly. And I'm sure everyone's been able to see so much of your work. You're getting a lot of views and your work is really awesome. And I've been creeping on your work for probably about a year now. And I've been waiting to find a way to interview you. And you were so quick to respond to me, which was awesome. It's always a fear of mine where I'm like, let me just see if they'll respond to me.
Definitely for sure. I hope I was a good entry level into the film world, because we kind of speak the same language in that department.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get too technical with you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the layman's terms you kept it with. I appreciate that.
Digital mirrorless camera.
Yeah. Oh, that's technical for me. So I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna look at that. Well, thank you, Chris, and I hope you have a good rest of your morning.
Definitely, you too, for sure.